Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're going to test your expertise with 30 tough questions covering the books of the Bible, from the tales of ancient prophets to the writings of the apostles. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. Which book of the Bible is the longest? A. Genesis. B. Psalms. C. Isaiah. D. Matthew. Answer B. Psalms. The book of Psalms is the longest book in the Bible with 150 chapters. It is a collection of songs, prayers, and poems that express a wide range of emotions from praise to lament. Question 2. What language was most of the Old Testament originally written in? A. Greek. B. Hebrew. C. Aramaic. D. Latin. Answer B. Hebrew. Most of the Old Testament was originally written in Hebrew, which was the ancient language of the Israelites. Some portions, particularly those written during or after the Babylonian exile, were written in Aramaic. Question 3. Which book contains the verse, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord"? A. Isaiah. B. Jeremiah. C. Ezekiel. D. Daniel. Answer B. Jeremiah. Jeremiah 29:11 contains the famous verse, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Question 4. Who is traditionally credited with writing the book of Revelation? A. Paul. B. John. C. Peter. D. James. Answer B. John. The book of Revelation is traditionally credited to John, often believed to be John the Apostle. This is the last book of the New Testament, and it offers a prophetic vision of the end times. Question 5. What is the shortest book in the New Testament? A. Jude. B. 2 John. C. Philemon. D. 3 John. Answer D. 3 John. 3 John is the shortest book in the New Testament by word count. It is a personal letter from the Apostle John emphasizing the importance of truth and love. Question 6. Which book is known as the first gospel in the New Testament? A. Matthew. B. Mark. C. Luke. D. John. Answer A. Matthew. The Gospel according to Matthew is traditionally placed first among the New Testament Gospels. It provides a bridge from the Old Testament, beginning with a genealogy of Jesus that traces back to Abraham. Question 7. How many books are in the Protestant Bible? A. 66. B. 73. C. 81. D. 59. Answer A. 66. The Protestant Bible consists of 66 books, including 39 in the Old Testament and 27 in the New Testament. Question 8. Which book of the Bible details the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem? A. Ezra. B. Nehemiah. C. 1 Chronicles. D. Lamentations. Answer B. Nehemiah. The book of Nehemiah focuses on the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls following the Babylonian exile and is a key text in understanding the restoration of Israel in the post-exilic period. Question 9. Who wrote the majority of the Psalms? A. Solomon. B. David. C. Asaph. D. Moses. Answer B. David. King David is credited with writing the majority of the Psalms. His contributions to the Psalter are a central part of his legacy as a leader and musician. Question 10. In which book can the Ten Commandments be found? A. Genesis. B. Exodus. C. Leviticus. D. Deuteronomy. Answer: B. Exodus. The Ten Commandments are initially listed in Exodus 20. They are a foundational set of biblical laws given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. Question 11. Which book follows the Gospels in the New Testament? A. Acts. B. Romans. C. Hebrews. D. Revelation. Answer: A. Acts. The Acts of the Apostles follows the Gospels in the New Testament. It details the early church's history and the spread of the gospel after Jesus' resurrection and ascension. Question 12. What book comes directly before Job in the Old Testament? A. Psalms. B. Proverbs. C. Esther. D. Psalm of Solomon. Answer: C. Esther. In the Christian Old Testament, the book of Esther comes right before the book of Job. Question 13. Name the book that begins with "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." A. Matthew. B. Mark. C. Luke. D. John. Answer: D. John. The Gospel of John begins with these words, introducing the Logos theology that emphasizes Jesus' divine nature from the very beginning of his Gospel. Question 14. Which book is considered a poetic essay on the problem of evil? A. Job. B. Psalms. C. Proverbs. D. Ecclesiastes. Answer: A. Job. The book of Job is a complex poetic essay exploring the nature of evil and suffering and the question of why the righteous suffer. Question 15. How many books are in the Catholic Old Testament? A. 39. B. 46. C. 50. D. 42. Answer: B. 46. The Catholic Old Testament includes 46 books, which is 7 more than the Protestant Old Testament. This difference is due to the inclusion of the deuterocanonical books. Question 16. Which book contains the story of Samson? A. Judges. B. Ruth. C. 1 Samuel. D. Genesis. Answer: A. Judges. The story of Samson is found in the book of Judges, chapters 13 to 16. Samson's narrative highlights his incredible strength, his flawed character, and the consequences of his actions, which ultimately lead to dramatic events that influence the Israelites. Question 17. What book ends with the prophecy of a new heaven and a new earth? A. Daniel. B. Ezekiel. C. Revelation. D. Isaiah. Answer: C. Revelation. The book of Revelation ends with a vision of a new heaven and a new earth, as God reveals the ultimate restoration and renewal of all things. Revelation 21:1 states, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea." Question 18. Who wrote the letters to the Corinthians? A. Paul. B. Peter. C. James. D. John. Answer: A. Paul. The Apostle Paul is traditionally credited with writing the letters to the Corinthians, which include 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians. These letters address various issues related to church governance, morality, and Christian doctrine. Question 19. Which Old Testament book is a collection of love poems? A. Psalm of Solomon. B. Psalms. C. Proverbs. D. Lamentations. Answer A. Psalm of Solomon. The Psalm of Solomon, also known as the Song of Songs, is a collection of lyrical poems that express the joy and passion of love between a bride and groom. It stands out as a unique celebration of love in the Old Testament. Question 20. What is the last book of the Old Testament? A. Zechariah. B. Malachi. C. Haggai. D. Micah. Answer B. Malachi. Malachi is the last book of the Old Testament, which includes prophecies concerning the coming of a messenger to prepare the way of the Lord and the importance of maintaining faithfulness to God's covenant. Question 21. Which New Testament book addresses the seven churches in Asia? A. Acts. B. Ephesians. C. Revelation. D. Galatians. Answer C. Revelation. The book of Revelation addresses the seven churches in Asia Minor, providing specific messages to each, as seen in chapters 2 and 3. These messages include commendations, criticisms, and encouragement to remain faithful. Question 22. What book contains the story of the Battle of Jericho? A. Exodus. B. Joshua. C. Judges. D. 1 Kings. Answer B. Joshua. The book of Joshua recounts the story of the Battle of Jericho, where the walls of Jericho fall after Joshua and the Israelites march around the city for 7 days, blowing trumpets as commanded by God. Question 23. Which book is the primary source of Jewish civil and ceremonial law? A. Genesis. B. Exodus. C. Leviticus. D. Deuteronomy. Answer C. Leviticus. Leviticus is the primary source for Jewish civil and ceremonial law, detailing various laws pertaining to sacrifices, rituals, and purity. It serves as a guide for the priests and the people on how to maintain holiness and proper worship. Question 24. In which book does the prophet Elijah challenge the prophets of Baal? A. 1 Kings. B. 2 Kings. C. Jeremiah. D. Isaiah. Answer A. 1 Kings. In 1 Kings 18, the prophet Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel to demonstrate whose God is truly God, resulting in a dramatic display of God's power as fire comes down from heaven. Question 25. What book contains the phrase vanity of vanities, all is vanity? A. Ecclesiastes. B. Proverbs. C. Job. D. Psalms. Answer A. Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes opens with the phrase vanity of vanities, all is vanity, which sets the tone for its exploration of the meaning and purpose of life under the sun. This existential reflection is attributed to the teacher, who is traditionally considered to be Solomon. Question 26. Who is the main human author of the book of Proverbs? A. Solomon. B. David. C. Samuel. D. Moses. Answer A. Solomon. King Solomon is traditionally regarded as the main human author of the book of Proverbs, credited with composing many of the proverbs that offer wisdom on various aspects of life, from personal conduct to social interactions. Question 27. Which book outlines the laws for the priests of Israel? A. Exodus. B. Leviticus. C. Numbers. D. Deuteronomy. Answer B. Leviticus. Leviticus primarily outlines the laws for the priests of Israel, including detailed instructions on offerings, rituals, and the maintenance of holiness among the people of Israel. Question 28. What book tells of the conversion of a Roman centurion, Cornelius? A. Acts. B. Romans. C. Ephesians. D. Galatians. Answer: A. Acts. The book of Acts in chapter 10 recounts the story of Cornelius, a Roman centurion whose conversion marks a significant moment in the spread of Christianity to Gentiles. Question 29. Which book in the New Testament was written by the brother of Jesus? A. James. B. Jude. C. John. D. Peter. Answer: A. James. The book of James is attributed to James, the brother of Jesus, who became a prominent leader in the Jerusalem church. His letter focuses on practical aspects of Christian conduct. Question 30. Which prophet wrote a book that includes a vision of a valley of dry bones? A. Isaiah. B. Jeremiah. C. Ezekiel. D. Daniel. Answer: C. Ezekiel. The prophet Ezekiel wrote the book that includes a vision of a valley of dry bones in Ezekiel 37. This vision symbolizes the restoration of Israel and the revitalization of God's people.